Oh, I had two mics. That's my problem. All right. Well, that's a big fuck up. A minute 40 wasted. All right. So now that I finally figured out how to unmute myself on my two mics, StreamYard, and on my actual mic right here, today's an interesting day. All night games, which is good, gives us lots of time to study the props and find the right props to bet. And today I've done things a little differently. I've compiled my normal lists, adding in looking for my trifecta hitter prop players. When I say trifectors, I mean guys that are on a hitting streak, guys that are hitting 350 or more or higher the last 7 days, and have recent success against the starting pitcher that they're going up against. So that's what I'm going to be going through today. We'll start off with pitcher versus batter success. We'll go to Cleveland and Chicago first. Cesar Hernandez and Eddie Rosario both have limited success, 3 for 4 and 2 for 5. And Bradley Zimmer has a home run. On the Chicago side, definitely way more experience against Bieber. Abreu, 308, 26 at-bats, 3 home runs. Anderson, 348 and 23 at-bats. And Moncada, 280, 25 at-bats and 2 home runs. The White Sox definitely look like a team that could hit Bieber, but we do have to remember who they played. And listen, playing Baltimore and playing Cleveland doesn't really give you a flattering perspective, but we'll move on. On the Baltimore side, really, there's only Trey Mancini in limited at-bats, only 1 for 3, but that one hit was a home run. On the Yankees, Tampa Bay side, we got a little more guys there. We got Mike Ford, who had a home run. Stanton, who I think I'm going to be introducing something called the come-up hitter prop. A guy who I can see is struggling, and then picking that time when that hitter is going to come out of that slump and go on a streak. Stanton, he's that type of guy and one of those candidates that I am looking at. So with Stanton, 286, 7 at-bats and a home run. Gleyber Torres, 286 and 7 at-bats. On the Tampa Bay side, that's where I'm more interested. Arizona, he's 2 for 3 with a home run. Joey Wenkel, he's 375 with 8 at-bats. Ji-Man Choi, Yandy Diaz both have home runs. And Meadows, he's been the hottest hitter on this team right now, and he's 4 for 8 lifetime with 3 home runs. So definitely a guy for a home run prop. Jose Abreu, Austin Meadows. But definitely hoping for some offense in this Yankees-Tampa series, even though we've seen that when Tampa's not playing in Dunedin against the Blue Jays, their offense can be a little limited. All right. On the Miami side, really only Starling Marte, but he's only 2 for 6. Cincinnati and Philadelphia, I'm only really looking at Jesse Winker, 2 for 6. He's been kind of hot, hitting around 300 the last 7 days. And Brad Miller with a 375 average and 16 at-bats, but he's been cold as fucking ice for Philly. On the Washington side, who doesn't have any hitters hitting over 300 the last 7 days, they do have 5 hitters with some decent numbers against Max Fried. Starlin Castro, 4 for 10 with a home run. Yan Gomes, 3 for 3 with a home run. Victor Robles, 6 for 12. Trey Turner, 375 and 16 at-bats with a homer. And then Ryan Zimmerman, 2 for 5. So once again, it looks like a spot where you want to definitely take some time with this Washington lineup and maximize the success that some of these batters have had, even though they are in slumps right now. On the Atlanta side, obviously Ronald Acuna, 375, 16 at-bats and a home run, hitting lots of singles, scoring runs, getting on base. Austin Riley, Ozzy Albus, 375 and 263 respectively, 8 at-bats and 19 at-bats respectively. Austin Riley has a home run. Freddie and Dansby also have lots of at-bats, but they're both hitting under 250, so that's really my threshold point. But they do each have a home run. So, if you got fucking units to play with and gamble, because that's what you'd be doing in essence. Maybe take a look at a home run prop. Also, Dansby Swanson's on a 9-game hitting streak where I believe he has 14 hits in those 9 games. Over to Milwaukee. Milwaukee's definitely been hitting the ball a little better. Avisail Garcia has a 385 average, 26 at bats and 2 home runs. He's definitely going to be a major candidate today when I look at games and hitter props involving Milwaukee. I like those numbers, and I really like that amount of at bats. What's going on, Luke Puzzler? What's going on, JT? Good morning. Got softball registration in 13 minutes, so hoping that I can speed through it. All right, let's move on to San Diego. San Diego got 4 or 5 definite hitters that are putting in work, have decent numbers, going up against Kyle Hendricks. You have Hosmer, 273, 11 at bats, 1 homer. Will Myers, 313, 16 at bats. Tommy Pham, 286, 14 at bats, and he's their hottest hitter right now. And obviously with Tatis and Machado, they each have a hit and 2 hits in limited sample size. With Pham, he's been hitting singles. That's for sure. I'll talk about him in a couple minutes. Moving on to Houston, obviously I like Altuve, even though he's only 250 for 2 for 8. Just need him to get a single, and he cashes for us. Carlos Correa is 333, 2 for 6. And Gurriel, who probably won't play, is 286 and 7 at bats. So not really a lot to like about Houston in that lineup, but against the Red Sox, maybe they hit a bunch of singles. I'm not sure. I'll have to dig deeper into that one specifically. So don't be jumping on Altuve right now. Wait for me to give you the word. Arizona, New York Mets. There's a couple hitters for Arizona. Obviously, Marcus Stroman has played and pitched against some of the weakest lineups in Major League Baseball the last couple starts. Going up against this Arizona team at home is going to be dangerous. Not only do they have multiple hitters that are hot, David Peralta, Josh Reddick, and Stephen Vogt all have good numbers against Stroman. Vogt was 2 for 3 with a home run. Reddick 4 for 9 with a home run. David Peralta 3 for 3 with a home run. So I think that you're going to be able to definitely find some value on this Arizona side. This could be the start that you see Marcus Stroman explode. And I think that you're going to have to see the Mets hitters, and they got 3 hot hitters right now, put the pressure on themselves to hit some balls and score some runs for them. With recent success against Kelly, it's Lindor and McCann. Each of them have at least a home run in limited sample size. Lindor 2 for 5, McCann only 1 for 1. On the Angels side, which I'm definitely hesitant to get involved with because they've been just costing me money, there is David Fletcher, 286, 7 at bats. Justin Upton, 2 for 5. But San Francisco hitters are the guys I'm looking for in that game. The way that those San Fran hitters have been hitting, I'll talk about them in a couple minutes, though. This is the game that I have the most interest in from a hitter prop perspective because there's many ways to play this team, and that's the Oakland Athletics. When it comes to home runs, Laureano, Mitch Moreland, Sean Murphy, Steven Piscotty, and Matt Olson all have home runs. Then you look at guys with average and at bats. You're talking about Matt Chapman, 426, 26 at bats, a home run. Tony Kemp, 571, 7 at bats. Jed Lowry, 625, 8 at bats. Lot of value with this Oakland lineup today, in my opinion. That scares me to say that out loud, but I do think that there is some fucking prop value. Okay, so right now, Washington and Atlanta are the most interesting from a full game hitter prop value. Tampa Bay has some value against the Yankees. The White Sox have some value against Cleveland, and of course Oakland. So my second part of this video, I want to identify the guys that are on the hottest hitting streaks and who have the most pitcher success, and who's played the best in the last 7 days. Well, for those guys, there's only 2 of them, unfortunately, today that fit that criteria. One of them is Jan Moncada. We know that Moncada has great numbers against Bieber. We know that he's hot as fuck right now. 385, 10 hits in his last 7 games. So, and he's on a freaking hit streak. What's the hit streak right now? Moncada's hit streak is 5 games, 8 hits, 1 home run, only 6 strikeouts. So he's hitting 500 during that hit streak. So great numbers with Moncada. This is a guy that would qualify as a max play of the day candidate, not a play yet because that's a lot of money to put on one hitter prop. But this is a guy that could fit the fucking criteria today. The second guy is the guy that I talked about and mentioned that I would get back to, and that's Tommy Pham of San Diego. Well, not only do we know that Tommy Pham has decent success, 286, 14 at bats versus Kyle Hendricks, he's hitting 323 in the last 7 days with 10 hits. And to add on to it, Tommy Pham's also on a 6-game hitting streak, 10 hits in that time, and a 370 average. So the numbers add up right there. When it comes to just guys that are having some really good hit streak success that I look at guys like Pavin Smith and Josh Reddick for Arizona. Pavin Smith, 13 hits in 6 games, 591 the last 7 days. If he's in the lineup and not pinch hitting, he's a guy you get on for bases and a single. Maybe even you go double playing in that park. A lot of room to hit doubles at Arizona's field. Then Josh Reddick, we know lots about him from his days with Houston, his days with Oakland, his cheating. Maybe he played with Boston also, I can't remember. But he has 7 singles in 6 games out of 10 hits, and he's hitting 500. So that's a guy definitely looking at. Ronald Acuna, obviously you got to be looking at him. He's hitting in the leadoff spot, 353 the last 7 days, 6 hits in 4 games, 1 being a home run. So not smashing and mashing, but still going to cash for you if you fucking hit him right. I've talked about Kris Bryant a lot, whether it be in the Pub Sports Radio Discord, whether it be on Twitter, whether it be just to my fucking neighborhood homeless person. Kris Bryant is mashing the ball. 12 hits in 7 games, 387 average, and he's got a guy below him, Patrick Wisdom. Well, I'll tell you, Pat Wisdom, he's got the wiseness right now. 467, 3 home runs in the last 7 days. So definitely a kid that can provide some value if you're looking just to get on an over half a base type prop. Okay, now we're going to go down to, obviously, Jesse Winker, Nick Castellanos. At home, it's hard to say no to backing both these guys. For me, I'm just going to have to be smarter with how I attack them. Well, Castellanos, 381, 8 hits in the last 5 games. 304, 7 singles for Jesse Winker. Hoping that those trends continue, singles, runs, over 1.5 bases. That's the best way. If you start going for doubles and home runs, then you start fucking around. Cleveland, Eddie Rosario, 333, but he is getting some good timely base hits, singles, doubles. So he has some value there. Jonathan Scope of Detroit, 375, 2 home runs and 9 hits in the last 7 days. That's really interesting. I like that especially. So that's a good fucking guy to be getting on, whether it be singles or over 1.5 bases. Then you look at Houston, Carlos Correa hitting 444 over his last 7 days, has recent success against a starting pitcher for Boston, and he has 4 extra base hits in that time span. So definitely a guy that I'm interested. And he's also on a he's not on a hit streak. His hit streak ended. Once again, I got to bring up David Fletcher's name. He is hitting 368 in his last 7 days and has some limited sample size success versus the starting pitcher for San Francisco. I apologize. I don't remember all the starting pitchers off the top of my head, and I'm not looking at a screen for it. For the New York Mets, like I talked about before, they are going to need some of their lineup to come through, and that's going to be Jose Peraza and John Villar and possibly Dom Smith. All of them are hitting 375 or higher. Peraza and Villar have hit some nice singles, cashed some single props, and cashed some doubles props. Dom Smith is good for singles. Over in Philadelphia, I like Rhys Hoskins. 3 out of 7 of his hits in the last week are extra base hits. He's hitting 333. So having him just hit singles yesterday, maybe he hits an extra base hit today. Adam Frazier for Pittsburgh, 318, 3 extra base hits. Listen, it's not really my favorite to see Frazier hitting these doubles and homers, but when he hits a double or homer, I do think that the next day he comes back and he does hit singles. So, all right, this is probably my favorite team and the one I'm going to have to control myself the most. San Francisco, Steven Duggar, Evan Longoria, Lamonte Wade, Austin Slater, all hitting 400 or above. Longoria, the most dangerous, 11 hits, 6 extra base hits in that time frame. Lamonte Wade, 444. He's the guy that I really like, and Longoria the most out of the 4, but all 4 are probably going to end up making my list. Austin Meadows, I already talked about how I liked him, but I will point out he is hitting 300, and 4 out of his 5 hits are extra base hits, 2 doubles, 1 triple, and 2 home runs. My Blue Jays are back home at Dunedin. I think that this is going to be a spot that they smash and mash. I'll have to check the weather. I don't give a fuck about pitcher versus batter success. I think that Vladdy, who's hitting, I think, 222 on the road trip, coming back home to that fucking little park is going to start mashing also. Him, Teoscar, Bo, I think they're all going to fucking hit. Lourdes Gurriel, I think they're all going to hit. But the guys that are hot for the Jays are Joe Panik, who's hitting 545, 5 out of 6 singles. Rowdy Tellez hitting 400. Randall Grichuk and Marcus Semien are both on hitting streaks right now. And they're hitting 409, 429 respectively. And both of them are hitting extra base hits. Semien, 4 out of 9 extra base hits. Grichuk, 5 out of 9 extra base hits. So, all right. This is the last guy. This is probably my favorite guy. I like him more than Frazier. I like him more than fucking Altuve. His name is Tyler O'Neill. He plays for the St. Louis Cardinals. He just came back from an injury. And wow, is he fucking the ball in the mouth. He's fucking the ball in the mouth. 364, 7 out of 8 hits, extra base hits. Over 1.5 bases, over half a double, over half a home run, over half a run. And if he hits, you fucking hit him live. Whew. All right, that was a packed fucking 20 minutes. I'm definitely going to fucking finish up now. I got fucking 1 minute till softball registration starts. And listen, if you want to talk to me more, hit up that fucking Pub Sports Radio Discord. A lot of fucking sharp people in there, including the K Guru, David Sharp. Our friend in the chat right now, fucking Talk Sports with JT. He's up in there fucking spreading the fucking knowledge and the winners. Let's just have a good day. I've had 2 losing days in a row after my 19.25 unit wins. Sunday and Monday were cruel to me. I ended up losing a little bit, I think under 2 units yesterday, but I did lose 9 units the day before. So, hey, trying to be transparent about it, not hiding from my losses. You know me, volume bettors lose 40% at a minimum of their seasons, and I'm ready to fuck with my eyes open today. So I'm going to try and stick to these lists, stick to the players that I talked about in this video. Fuck with your eyes open, boys. Eat those chicken tenders, but don't you dare dip them in barbecue sauce or honey mustard. It's only honey. It's organic. It's from a bee. We need the bees, baby. We need the bees. And of course, get those bougie cupcakes. If you got to spend $5 on one, eat it slow, eat it with a spoon, and fucking fuck with your goddamn eyes open. Let's support those sex workers and local strippers. They need our funds. Let's win